The time to be alive, baby. Not a time, baby. I'd love to know what this whole thing is about. This is like a big press conference for what?
Coach, obviously there was not such a good start, but you were positive because you said you guys were playing well. But the results are coming now. What's been the difference within the squad?
I said before, I came in here 2 weeks before the start of the season, so I was a little bit. I knew the team, but it was a little bit rushed. So new coach, knew this, knew that. So I had to look at the players. But I still thought we played well the first 4 or 5 games, even though we didn't get many points. But yeah, you hopefully it'll come right, and obviously we need to keep going now and try and finish off certainly before the World Cup, which is Sunday's game, and which won't be easy because of the Swallows also they've got a victory the last game, but one game at a time. Yeah.
Talking about Swallows, they haven't been one of the most feared teams this season, but having won their last match the way they won it, what have you picked up from their play? Well,
they look obviously. I always believe sometimes when you have a change of coaching staff, you always have a change of results. It normally goes like that, and they did, and they've had a change of shape. Just watching the last game, but it's going to be all the games in the PSL. It's very difficult. To predict who and how and what. So we just, as long as we're prepared and we go in there, and try and do what we're trying to implement. That's the most important thing.
But looking at your squad now, Coach, you've always said before that sometimes you play pretty football and not win. And is it one of the games that you're expecting, whether it comes ugly, but a win will always be a win?
Yeah, people don't, I think that's where we get lost a little bit in South Africa. People worry about style over points, but points, if you don't get points, you get relegated. You know what I mean? So we need points, and when you come at the end of the season, people don't remember too many how you played. They look at the points table, and I think, yes, we want to play a nice brand of football. Yes, we want to try and introduce a way of playing that's good on the eye, but also points is very important. As I said, look at the first 4 games, you played really well. I can remember the Amazulu game. I've never seen a team play so well that first 45 minutes, but we lost. So, there's things we need to do better, and we're trying, but that takes a little bit of time,
But Gavin, right now, would I be right if I said to you, you're at least getting, into the cruise mode now?
Well, let's get to 30 points first. I always believe that's a benchmark, because 30 points will get you into a good situation and a better feel. So that's important. We can try and get there as quick as possible.
And Coach, you're a coach that prefers playing most of the time, and since winning 3 games in a row, and this kind of breaks keep coming along, how do they derail your momentum?
Well, you can see, we're doing 45-minute sessions and hour sessions, You can't, and December's going to be worse. Because, December's going to be difficult. That's the first time it's going to happen where we're going to play games 30th and the 31st. So you're going to have players training Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and these type of things. It's going to be a bit of a first for some of these players, well, for everybody. Because we normally play middle of January, and then you finish on the 20th of December. So that's normally the norm. So it's going to be a little bit different. So we're going to have time off now after this game, and then that's our Christmas, and then we'll come back in December and train.
You don't think, Gav, they should have at least? You look elsewhere around the world. They try to push the schedule.
Yeah, we could have played. We could have played a game. To be fair, I know the MTN Cup, which takes prep, but we could have played the game the weekend. We could have played the game Wednesday. We would have got 3-4 games out the way. Now January we've got 8 games. 7 games plus the 30th. It's 8 games in like 16 days. It's pushy,
Will there be a special program for the players?
Well, nobody really knows, and you can use all the science you got. Nobody really knows what's going to work and what's not going to work. Do we overtrain? Do we undertrain? How much training we do? It's very difficult, as you can see. We played last Tuesday. It's like, it's 10, 12 days a game. And the game before that was also the same. So it's very difficult to try and see where you are, how much training, what to do, what not to do, because you never really know. So December's going to be a little bit of a, when everybody's down on the beach and all over the show, which is fine. We've got no problems with that. But, it's mentally to be training, it's like another pre-season.
So do you think all the clubs experience the same thing, or some will be?
If some people, you're going to have the national team, you're going to go in on the 13th, so you're going to have a lot of players, and then you got that tournament, I think, I'm not sure when, the 12th.
Yeah.
So we don't have any. We play Sunday, that's the 30th, and we don't play until the 30th of December, which is 2 months. So it's a bit. And obviously, other players will be involved here and there in the cups, and so it's going to be a bit different how we handle the players and maintain a level,
Coach, what's the situation with Bradley and Wade? See, they're still training.
Bradley.
Cross.
Yeah, look, I mean, he came back from where did he come back from? Newcastle. He was there. Obviously, he had a bad knee, and so he's been way behind, and he's getting fitter every day. And there's no decision. I mean, Wade, we know. I mean, it's been written about. It's club just that's it.
Coach, I'm looking at the types of games that we have. I just want to pick your brains on missing out on progression in cups, or even not making some cups.
Yeah.
You mean?
I don't know if our squad would have been. What's the word? I wouldn't say good enough, but I mean, I don't know if we had enough numbers to play that double semi-final and games in between. I think, I just don't know if we would have. Obviously, everybody wants to be in the cups because they're quite lucrative. But I mean, I just don't know if we had the squad then, especially the top 8.
I mean, look. There's this Carling Cup coming as well. You're not part of it.
Yeah.
The MTN 8, you're not part of it. Your players are not going to the World Cup. So what does it say to you about the program? Does it mean you have to tweak the program depending on the circumstances?
You're punching in the dark. You can have all the programs in the world. The only program is going to tell you when you played and you got points in January. Did you do the right thing or wrong thing? Or you don't know. That's what I said earlier. It's a bit different for everybody, this, because some teams are going to have players playing. They're going to be in that tournament with Angola and who's it? Mozambique, I think, or something. So they're going to be playing till the 20th. And then we only coming back there around that time again, So I don't know. But we'll use the experience. You'll use feel. Feel is the most important thing,
But looking at another one, Coach, you've always spoken about it in jest or just in passing. The landscape of South African football changing now. I mean, looking at the log table, it says the same. I mean, you guys have actually shot your way up. I mean, Chippa United, they're doing wonders with Morgan. Sundowns dropping points, even doing structural changes. There's only a few safe coaches. And
I mean, the hardest thing is to get to the top. And then the second hardest thing is to stay there. You look at all teams all around the world, to maintain a level of consistency, we have to get better. Can we get better? I don't know. You got to get a little bit lucky over that time of period where you got players in the right age and the right, what you want and that type of thing. So that's the only thing. But we have to make the league more competitive. We have to. I mean, how do you do that? I don't know. We have to improve. So coaching or getting players in, whatever it is. But we have to try and improve the league in terms of every year. You know what I'm saying? That's all we have to try and do.
But looking at how the changes have been done, somewhere abrupt, Coach, because you sleep tonight. One is the head coach, the other one is
I can't.
Without even
not for me
into,
to.
No, without even going into that space. I mean, look at the other side. I mean, you've got coaches who are literally on the brink of losing their jobs when others are taking momentum.
It's the nature of the business. I mean, if a team's at bottom of the league, there's going to be coached under pressure. Teams underachieving, they'll be under pressure. I think it's just the nature of the business anyway, more so in South Africa. Because, but yeah, for me to comment on what other clubs do has got nothing to do with me. Internally, I can only comment on, when we play them or something, but for what they do has got nothing to do with me.
Coach, with the SuperSport's recent form now, a lot of people are getting a bit nostalgic, from the...
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, so how
that
do
is
you,
a problem.
You've
got to manage.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean, if you were in the changing room after our last game last week and what I said to the players, you'll understand what it's all about. And we need to just be, we won 2-3 games, and that's it, you know what I mean? Let's win 30 games, and let's be good over 30 games. And that's all I said to them, and we can't get ahead of ourselves. We're still nowhere near the teams that we had here before in terms of everything, quality, mentality, and I think so. And I think we need to be a long way from that. But we can build it in. You know what I'm saying? And winning games does help. I don't care what anybody says. Winning games does help. But we can't let this. We got another game in front of us.
That's what we say now. Gavin is cruising right to the top.
No. I think. You got to see you look at a team and you see the potential in the team and you see where they are. And I'm saying I still think we haven't reached where we can get to. That's all I'm saying. What that means in results, I don't know. Because sometimes you can always control performances. but you can't control results. I mean, I don't have to tell you that. You look at worldwide football, you say, geez, that team was so much better, but they lost the game. So you can control the performances, what we demand, what we want, blah, blah, blah. But results is always very difficult to control because decision or whatever, you know.
And you speak about being competitive in the league and not reaching the high level that you see the club belongs to be. What elements do you think the club is still lacking for it to
Well, obviously it's a different football club from when I was here first time, because obviously, you know, we had a much more experienced, and the age was right in the squad. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I always say teams that are successful, like teams that win the World Cup, are generally the average age is about 28, 29. You watch the team that wins the World Cup, it'll be the average age will be 28, 29. So that's where so if you've got a team like we've got a team very young and very old, so we need to get the balance right, and then you'll see you'll be more consistent. So you can build towards something. You know, so we got some finishing, some starting. You know, we need to get that whole thing to be right. That's important.
Coach, one of your players who hasn't played as much, Luke, the centre back, who voted Young Player of the Year last season, hasn't played as much this season. How far along is he in his development, and what improvements are you
Well, he
looking
played
to
quite a
see?
bit at the beginning. You know, we had a change of system, whatever it is. But I think guys like Tyson and TT have done well. So, hey, please may long as continue. You know, I mean, I think that's most important part of the team, those two centre backs. So, and I think they've done well, good partnership. So Luke's got to force his way in. He got himself out, he was suspended. You know, that is what it is.
Gavin, I'm looking at you now that you touched on Tyson. I'm looking at his body language. He's a Tyson of all times. How much of a damage did the Pirates' misfortune cause on him, and how are you working? How did you work?
I mean, I just saw the boy from a distance. I know what I had with him for 5 years. We won everything. He was a Bafana captain, and then you know, whatever happened. So I saw an opportunity, bring him here, you know, and we brought him here, and he's been getting better and better and better. I mean, I always say centre backs only mature after 32, 33. That's when they mature. And he's 31, I think, 30, 31. So he's still got another year, I think, or two to go to maturity. You know, when centre backs mature, you find anywhere in the world who's the best centre backs, the old ones, because it's a position where there's a lot involved, you know. And I think he'll mature. And for me, he's been really. He started slowly, but he's got better and better and better and better, and he will get better. Wait till he starts scoring.
Coach, can I ask about coming up against another young coach, Musa Nyatama? You know, the opening game was against Dane Clayt. There's also the emergence of the young coach, well, qualified or not, but also they get sacked quite quickly as well. You know, just what have you made of those kind of appointments and with facing?
Well, the game moves. So us older guys, we outdated. They tell us we're outdated. It's like anything in life. When you get all this experience, and then when you get the experience, you can't use the experience. So I don't understand. That's life, isn't it? As you get older. So the game moves. Younger players come in, younger coaches come in, and it's for them to force a way in and do a good job. What we need a little bit more is maybe do more of apprenticeship. You know, I mean, that's all, and qualifications and things like that. I think because that will make the teams better and make the league better and make the game better. So sometimes, and they get opportunities, which is fantastic. Jeez, I wish I had got opportunity, you know, straight into a PSL team. But I did 4 years in the first division, which was a good learning curve for me, you know, and got qualified and then sort of found your way. But a lot of young coaches get a lot of opportunities straight in, first jobs into the PSL, you know, and you say, wow. Well, good luck to them, you know what I'm saying? But I do think you need a good apprenticeship, and maybe we don't do enough apprenticeships, you know. That's
Some
all
are 32-year-olds.
Eh?
Some coaches are 32-year-olds coaching 35-year-olds.
Well, Alison, good luck, and you know, good luck. I mean, there's huge potential, because there's always potential, you know, in players, in coaches, and sometimes opportunities come up and they use them, you know. So fantastic. Good luck to them. It keeps us older guys on our feet.
Your favorite matches coming up this weekend? I know you've said we can't have this match daily. We've missed one now that Chiefs is out of the cup.
I thought this was supposed to be a SuperSport.
Yeah, but
I'll tell you what upsets me.
Coach,
I'm going to tell you what upsets me. For the last month, we've had this thing flashing on the right-hand side of our screen. It doesn't make sense to me. Why can't we put Stellenbosch versus SuperSport flash in there?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's really, makes me upset. But anyway, it is what it is.
But you're one of those that always says it's the biggest game in South African calendar.
It is.
And you've always had something to worry about. Now you're worrying about the flashing piece.
As long as I get a ticket in the box, I can get something to eat and something to drink. It'll be fantastic. No, we'll be training anyway.
You'll be training.
Yeah.
Good luck, coach, for the
Thank you. Thanks, guys.